What's up, guys? This is Brian Mayer with the Mayer Group at eXp Realty, and I want to say thank you to everyone who came out for Top Gun. We had over 100 people show up. It was an amazing time, and I'm glad we decided to do that movie in particular. My favorite part was when Tom Cruise decided to run the gauntlet on his own, and I watched some behind the scenes video of how Tom Cruise prepared, and that's all real. The reason they picked the F-18 was because it allows for two pilots. So he was in the plane, and all of the G-forces and the way that he does his breathing and all that was real. It was very emotional. I'll tell you another thing that I came away with from that movie was that it made me feel old. Remember the scene where he shows up to the bar and he's standing outside the window? I thought that was a little bit cheesy, but there were so many parts in there that reminded me, if Tom Cruise is an old guy now and he's a boomer, that's it. We're getting old. And when you start to hear yourself tell stories and you refer to 20 years ago, you start to catch on. So I started to really have to deal with my own age at that point. But I thought it was an awesome, awesome movie. I'm glad everybody came out. I think everybody had a great time. I think the weather ended up canceling a couple people at the last minute. So I apologize to some of the people I did have to turn down, but I want to thank everybody who did come. So let's talk about real estate news really quick. There's some things going on that everybody's curious about. I think the biggest question on everybody's mind is, will there be a crash? And then I think the way that real estate affects most people is two ways: interest rates and house prices. And then if there's anything else that goes into the job market or loan programs, none of that stuff has changed. The only thing that's changing is, the other thing is the availability of houses. How many houses are there? Will there be more houses to pick from? Will there be a buyer's market or whatever? So let's start with the biggest news. I'm on Mortgage News Daily. The headline for today: mortgage rates surge well into the 6% range, one of the worst days in decades. And the reason why is because the Fed, is threatening to raise rates 0.75%, something that apparently very, very rarely ever happens. So they sort of like the stock market, they predict the rates, they adjust the rates accordingly. It's not like a straight line. The Fed raises rates, they raise rates. Sometimes the Fed raises rates goes down because maybe they predicted the Fed would raise them higher. But whatever it is, we're now into the sixes, which I think is a big deal because they're literally almost twice as much as they were not very long ago. As in December, they were in the low threes, and now we're in the sixes. That is a more than 30% increase in a mortgage payment just because of the interest rates, and that's a big deal. So the next piece of the news was in the state of Maryland, the housing market, sales were down. Well, inventory is down 41%. There's 41% less houses on the market, which means less houses on the market and also the lower number of houses selling. Believe it or not, house prices have still gone up, whether that be the median or the average, between 11 and 9.5%, or 9.5 and 11%. So house prices are still going up. There's less houses for sale. Interest rates are going up. So how does this affect everybody? I think that, again, people are always worried about the crash. Where's the crash going to come from? It's not going to come. So I'm reading on Yahoo Finance's website. And this is something that I've been saying. If you watch my videos, I've been saying this all the time. They are not expecting things to become a buyer's market at a minimum of 2024. It's because of supply and demand. As you just heard, there's less houses on the market. There's less supply. The demand is still high. It's going to be like this for a long time, guys. But if you have any questions about anything, you want to know what your options are, you want to know what your house is worth in this market or what it's like to buy a house in this market, give me a call. Thanks for watching. Make it a fantastic day.